Ms. Elwood, congratulations on your well-deserved nomination. I want to speak briefly about Presidential Policy Directive 28. The Obama administration, through PPD 28 and in other ways, spoke about the need to consider and recognize the privacy rights of non-U.S. persons located outside the United States. Do you agree that U.S. constitutional and privacy rights do not extend to non-U.S. persons located outside the United States?
It is true that our Constitution, and of course we're talking here about the Bill of Rights, protects the individual rights of United States citizens and individuals in the United States by and large. And I am also not aware of any statutory law that extends broad privacy protections to foreigners abroad.
Is it a controversial statement of law that the U.S. Constitution and statutes do not extend to non-U.S. persons located outside the United States?
I don't think people would find that controversial.
I would agree. Do you think the CIA should take into account the privacy considerations of hostile intelligence services and would-be terrorists when conducting espionage overseas?
No, sir.
I agree. Can you commit to me that you will read the PCLOB's PPD 28 classified annex regarding the operational impacts on the intelligence community once you have received your security and clearance?
Yes, sir. I look forward to doing that if I'm confirmed.
Thank you. I want to turn my attention to Section 702 now of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Director Pompeo stated in a speech a couple of weeks ago at CSIS, quote, "The CIA steals secrets from our adversaries, hostile entities, and terrorist organizations. We utilize the whole toolkit, fully employing the authorities and capabilities that Congress, the courts, and the executive branch have provided to us consistent with our American ideals," end quote. Part of that toolkit is Section 702. Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats recently called it his top legislative priority to have reauthorized before it expires at the end of the year. Would you please comment on the importance of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act in general and Section 702 in particular to the CIA's mission?
Yes, Senator. I obviously have not had access to the classified information on the benefits of 702, but I have spoken to and I have read the statements of those who have, and they have, with broad consensus, all concluded that it is a highly effective and valuable tool, and it has played a key role in disrupting specific terrorist threats that were aimed at the United States and abroad.
Could you please describe some of the various layers of oversight and compliance that occur at the CIA General Counsel's Office, as well as the Department of Justice and ODNI, and here at this committee?
Well, there are many, many layers, as I was discussing with Senator King. With respect to inside the General Counsel's Office at the CIA lawyers provide in-person training, and they sit with the officers who are doing the querying. The CIA does not do the collection under the 702, although they do have the authority to do querying. Outside of the agency, and the agency's querying is then audited by the Office of the DNI as well as the DOJ on a regular basis, and the General Counsel's Office is involved in those audits. That same level of oversight occurs at the NSA. With respect to ODNI and DOJ audits every 60 days, and indeed every single selector that is used under 702 is audited. Not a single one is missed. In addition to the executive branch oversight, there's of course the Inspector Generals of the agencies have oversight authority as well. Outside of the executive branch, there is congressional oversight through the committees. There's also the FISC provides oversight by setting the standards and reviewing and getting reports on any mistakes that are made. And then there's the fourth layer of oversight, which is you alluded to, the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board, which did a thorough and detailed review of the use of 702, established that it had been a highly effective tool disrupting specific terrorist plots, and they also found, as I mentioned to Senator King, no trace of illegitimate activity or intentional misuse of the tool.
Thank you for the answer, and thank you for your willingness to come serve our country once again, and thanks to all the many men and women you will be leading in the Office of General Counsel, which I think is great.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Cotton.